What?
Yo.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Up?
Yo.
What's going on, y'all?
What's poppin'?
It's been a minute.
No, it's been a fucking decade.
Yeah, it's been like 10 years since we recorded this.
10 years, 52 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Yep.
And
I don't know how
a million people dead later.
I don't even know how in the world that SoundCloud is still up at this point.
And I'd like to say thank you to like the two people that watch our YouTube videos every 2 years. It's really appreciated. We appreciate the views.
I don't know why. I just imagine like two people just having a yearly tradition to just watch the video.
Random people on an exotic island somewhere, just watching the CU.
No, they're watching it over in Sentinelese Island. You know what Sentinel Island is, right?
Nah.
Sentinel Island is a whole island of people who basically like are still stuck in like caveman Neanderthal.
They're watching us on their clay tablets.
Yep.
What's those Crimson Underground? Crimson Underground. Crimson Underground. What the podcast?
that's more Russian than anything.
I don't know. Whatever. Fucking Russian. Fuck it.
All right, but so
we appreciate being. Point is, we appreciate being nobodies, and we're happy being pieces of trash.
Yeah. So
that was what we're supposed to be. Anti-establishment.
Yeah.
People are supposed to hate us.
So
if you like us, there's something wrong with you.
Why don't we like catch people up a little bit on what's been going on with us? A little bit.
With me, not that much. I mean, I graduated. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Graduated. I'm legal now. I can buy weed now. Cigarettes. Sorry, Ma. No, but yeah, I turned 18, all that good shit. I've just been laying back for a while. I haven't been doing too much. I've been working on and off on the, Nevin and 8 Gram Remixes project, and basically it's just gonna be a project where I just put out a bunch of stuff. Like for a while, me and 8 Gram, especially in the beginning, we rapped on other people's beats. So what I want to do is I want to put together a little project where it's all original instrumentals with over all of our songs, because those were, I think 8 Gram was the first dude I actually did a real song with. So I feel like we can do that. And speaking of 8 Gram, he's changing a little bit. So I'm not sure. I'm sure at some point we'll do something again, but right now I'm not really sure. But he's going for he's trying to blow up, and I respect him for that shit. He knows his shit. Like I know he can get nice with his, so people can't really take him down as much as they can take down other people. But good for him, man. I hope it works. He changed his name. Is XY Serio? Or am I pronouncing it wrong?
Hold on. Yeah, XY. It's either XY Serio or XY Sario.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry,
Sario.
I was thinking the same thing. I was debating on whether I should say that or not. Sorry, XY. XY. I'm sorry, yo.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have to ask him if he did that on purpose.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, you did? What did he say?
No. I said X. Wait, you mean 8 Gram?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just realized we called him 8 Gram. We're still calling him 8 Gram.
Well, we're so used to calling him 8 Gram. He's been 8 Gram for as long as I can remember, man.
Yeah.
2013. I remember you saw me rapping over this shitty ass. I was rapping over a Rick Ross beat. I was terrible. He liked it. I don't know why. He shouldn't have. I would have looked at. I was back when I was an edgy fag. I was 13 and I thought I was so awesome. I thought I was cool. You know, then I realized that I wasn't, and it's all good. I'm growing up now, so
Yeah,
he liked it. He said, you know, I remember him. He commented on the video.
right.
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said something like, "Hey man, this is good," and I was like, "Okay, thanks man," whatever. And then I kind of forgot about him for a little bit, you know, because I forget about people.
Right.
And, you know, people just they're, you know, they're forgettable. Nah, but a couple months later, I think he did a remix to "You Ain't a Killer," and I remember him really, like, I was like, yo, holy shit, yo, this is awesome. And you know, then a couple other months go by, and then he did the 8 gram of rap tape, where he rapped over the Fugees. How many mics do we rip on the daily? And,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, this guy's awesome. And a couple months later, we did the whole "What It Is" thing. I don't know if no one here knows what that is. But if you want to hear me really do a shitty interpolation of a Wiz Khalifa hook, which was already shitty to begin with, go look at it, and you will kill yourself.
Oh, jeez.
Yo, dude, I'm sorry, man. Any real hip hop heads looking at this, Southern Regard is listening to this. Don't go look at that song. Just don't, please. Matter of fact, unfollow me. Don't even look at me anymore. I've proven my disloyalty.
Oh, jeez. But me, I've been working, trying to get things together. I'm planning on getting a house with me and my girl and a couple of friends, including Devin. Also.
Yeah, I don't know. As long as I don't piss them off, I might. Who knows what happens? I'm very unpredictable. I'm a loose fuse.
I'm not that better either.
I might kill a hamster or some shit. I don't know. Kill a hamster, or I might just eat your chicken wings. And, you know, that you won't want to deal with me anymore. But speaking of work, I'm also trying to get a job. You know, cause yay jobs.
But I'm still writing. I'm still writing stuff. I'm still writing for the album.
I've
still
been
making
taking
beats.
a little bit of a break. Speaking of the album, Cairo Libre is still a thing.
Cairo Libre is still in the making currently.
I don't even know. Have we talked about it before?
I don't think we've talked. I think we've talked
mentioned
about.
it. I think we talked about it on episode 5, and I made fun of you because it was Cairo Libre, and I couldn't pronounce it. I think it was Cairo Libra or some shit like that. But you know, that's still work in progress. I can't really record in this house, so the Exploding Pens EP, I don't know when that's coming out. But the Exploding Pens EP is a plan, and that that's eventually gonna get recorded. And Exploding Pens, just in case you haven't been, all of you, our 2 fans haven't been paying attention. Exploding Pens is me and Will, or me and the Phantom. So this is us, and it's gonna be. I'm actually trying to have.
The idea came about with the fact that
your pen exploded.
That's the name. That's the idea for the name. I mean, just for the duo in general. See, the thing is that yes, me and Devin are the only 2 people on Crimson Underground, but the fact is that our duo
Crimson
name,
Underground itself is going to be expanded eventually. Like,
yeah,
the duo name is just me and him. Crimson Underground, even though it's just us right now, and it's been us for the past 3 years, is gonna be more people. You know, once we start networking, once we start getting out there, once we find like-minded individuals, and it's not going to be a real easy thing to be in the circle. You have to be real tight. You can't just be a normal motherfucker like, I want to get in the goddamn circle, man.
Well, it's
not like we're going to diss you or nothing like that, but still.
I mean, it's not even just that. It's not a situation where we believe we're so higher than you.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, if you're part of the circle, you're part of our family practically.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a situation
like, it's deeper
where
than rap. This is deeper than rap. This is deeper than beats and rhymes. This is real, like, friendships. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a brotherhood. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Family isn't who you're born with. It's who you die for.
Exactly.
So, Crimson Underground is gonna be way more than just me and him. So, for those that get confused and say, "Well, you're the only ones on it," with Exploding Pens is me and him together.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a.
It's gonna be. I'll tell you what this is gonna be. This is gonna be, straight, raw, head knocking, bang a bitch's head against a cinder block type of music. And
Yeah, I mean, and
really provocative.
our music usually is that in general.
Yes,
at
but
least
honestly, man, I'm trying to double, like, go even more crazy with it. Like, I mean, when I listen to Twilight Zone now, I see what's wrong with that album. It shows its age, not only because you've gotten so much better, than what you were on that album, but those
Right.
beats. I think I could have done a lot better with the beats. I could have done more things with the beats. But on the flip side, I am getting sick of these assholes walking around thinking that we have to sound like 2 Chainz and Migos and Tech Nine and shit. Not to diss Tech Nine, I love Tech
Tech
Nine. I
Nine's
think
dope.
Tech Nine's awesome, but fuck Migos. But to all these assholes that want us to sound like other artists that they listen to, what you need to understand is
Not only do they listen to, but they know that we don't really
care for them. But here's the deal: back in the golden age, people listen to different artists for different types of styles. Whether it was Cool G Rap, if you listen to Cool G Rap, he'd be doing the multi-syllabic rhymes with the mafioso themes. If you listen to, fucking Tribe
also
Called Quest.
But not to say that we're not going to branch out at any point.
Not to
in time.
say, that's not what I'm saying either.
Because
it's a midpoint.
I know we're going to say this, and then people are going to listen like the Kaida Libre album and the mixtape, and they'll be like, "I thought you were saying this." No, the situation is that when it comes to like Devin producing, he has a certain sound that I like pertain to, and that I basically, considering I didn't make my own beats. At the time, I basically rapped over like all of mainly his beats. I didn't really.
Because he wasn't making his beats. He wasn't making beats back then.
But the Kaida Libre album is going to be like 75%.
90%. I'd say a little more.
Yeah,
80%,
around like
80%.
80% produced.
I'll have I'll have my digits in there. I'd say I'm like. Is it safe to say I'm executively producing that album?
Yeah, in terms of like basically the sequencing of the songs and stuff like that. Like, because I can't really sequence songs out right now, and plus I'm not good at mixing and mastering yet, so Devin's going to be on the mixing and mastering.
Yeah,
I
might also just give constructive feedback on the songs in general. Since this is the first project he's producing, it's a big, this is a big thing. I think like me, I was already competent at producing when we did Twilight Zone, so even though that was still our baby steps project, but back to what I was saying before. The point that I was trying to make is that all artists, I think if artists are their own people rather than having to pertain, and I'm not saying they can't branch out, but if they are forced because of pressure, to sound like some other people, then it's not natural. When artists do what they do, and they're different with it, it's uniqueness. That's what people need to listen to music some more and understand that. So we're not gonna do. You will never, ever see us changing up to the point where we're mumbling on records and sounding like some idiots out of special ed class. We just got wasted on Oxycontin and firewater, like, and codeine. Like, it's just not our style. It's just stupid. It doesn't, like, you gotta be nice to be down with us.
Yeah, it's a situation of like we first of all, most of the time we find you is most likely due to your music, and if we think you're nice, we're gonna reach out to you, and if we have some kind of like conversation, like chemistry, that's another thing.
Are we like-minded? Can we feel your vibes?
Because we're not gonna be on a label with somebody where we don't identify.
Are
with
you
them.
PC? If you're PC, you're automatically excluded. Goodbye.
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself with a lit branch.
Yeah, it has to be a situation where we can actually identify with you as a person. Because if we don't have like-minded individuals such as ourselves, then we're gonna just look.
That's how it should be. It'll be like it's all over the place. Like, what is this? This makes no sense. Like this is like a coalition almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kaida Libre album. That's gonna be.
It's definitely going to be a different kind of
It's gonna be a
different.
It's gonna be bigger, but we're gonna maintain, and I'm gonna make sure that it maintains our essence at its core.
Right.
And it's gonna come out like it's gonna be it's gonna be bang your head against a cinder block type of music, but it's also gonna have like a real, like this dude's beats. Some of them have like a real trippy feel. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be different. And you know what? We're gonna test the waters and see how people think, what people think of it.
Yeah. So Devin, would you say that like Ice, even though even when we started out and because I started making the beats, I started messing around with the beats, and I'm just like, I'll try this out, and I'm like, maybe I'll just produce for Quieto Libre, and then what ended up happening, because I from the beginning of making Quieto Libre, I wanted a different kind of sound than what was on Twilight Zone, not completely different, because there are going to be some
core similarities.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of core similarities, especially lyricism. Lyricism is going to be...
And in the drums.
Yeah. Yeah.
The drums are still pounding. The drums are still hard. You know, there's no trap sounds. But one thing I discovered today was he sent me a couple beats. I just listened to one. He's learning how to strategically place 808s. Like, I haven't been dropping much in the way of beats, but a big thing for me is strategically knowing how to place your bass lines, your drums, and your 808s to make a distinct rhythm.
When I did that,
in accordance with the samples.
When I did that, it was a situation of basically seeing I saw the open 808 and the closed 808, and then played them in a sequence. And
right.
Played those in a sequence to where they sounded dope. And even the third drum on top of those two 808s had its own tone to it that even matched.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked. You guys will know when it's on the album. I guess you guys can.
We'll figure it out. We're nerding out, and someone's probably fell asleep by now. But yeah, it's gonna be something.
Exploding Pens.
It should be expected by late 2019.
It's gonna be 2019. I know that. It's going to be 2019. It depends on how things go during.
At this point, it's not gonna be early 2019.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be early. It's definitely going to be either mid to late.
Yeah, mid to late. You know, because we're trying to put more time into this. And Twilight Zone,
not even just about the fact that we're trying to put more time into this. It's also because we have a lot of plans for, because the fact is that Devin, you're 18 now, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Devin's 18.
Suck my dick. No, I'm just kidding.
Devin's 18. I'm not turning 18 till January 30th of next year. Right. And that's when I will be moving into the new house. And basically, we have a lot of plans to... It's a transitional period for us, basically, in terms of, moving.
Right. You know, I have things back here, you know, that I feel like it's a bit of a tug of war because, you know, I have people over here that want me to do a certain thing, or feel like I should do a certain thing, and, you know, at the same time warning me about the things that I want to do, because a lot of things like this, when they happen, is very impulsive, and people tend to make bad decisions when they go out on a whim and say, oh, I'm going to do all this, and this, and this, and this, but I'm trying to plan it out, because the last thing I want to do
the only thing we can do really is plan it out, because if we don't, then it's
well, yeah, but
it can fall completely flat on its face.
When I say plan it out, I mean thoroughly map it out. And you know what? One of the things I'm going to do is save money, because I don't want to go out there with no money. Right. I need money, and I need to get a job out there somehow. You know, right. I mean, there's a couple things on the table right now that could happen. You know, I could land a tech job, possibly if they like me. I know I'm supposed to be getting contacted soon by some other people, and I'm gonna get a job.
Hold up. Stop real quick.
So what happened?
I'm getting a phone call. You have to stop real quick for a couple seconds.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I'm gonna get contacted by some people, and I'll have something lined up. It's nothing too crazy at the moment, but you know, eventually, right. The point is, I'm just gonna start hoarding money. Hoarding money, so that way I have a nice supply to take with me, and you know, so because I'm not trying to be pinching penny down there, and I'm also not trying to be mooching off of these guys, because it's gonna be me. I know it's gonna be me, him, his girl, and right now we're not sure about others.
Well, no, actually, there's one more person, a friend of hers. And well, I'm friends with him too. So yeah, it's another person I'm cool with.
Right.
That we're both cool with. Me and her are cool with. So yeah,
we don't have to go. We don't have to go into detail about that, but
Yeah, no.
Point is, we're trying to put these things together, But it's crazy thinking about these things because I known this dude for over 3 years, man.
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years, like he's been with me through over half of my high school years.
You've been and you've been there. I think my whole high school.
Yeah,
life?
because almost. I mean, you met me right after you started 9th grade. You weren't in middle school, so.
Yeah, we met like around the end of my 9th grade year because it was April.
No. When you, actually.
It was either the end of my 9th grade year or the end of my.
It was the end of your 8th grade year because you were born in January 2001. August of 2015, you started your 9th grade year. So it was actually near the end of your middle school year. That's weird, man.
Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
My sister's gonna be in 8th grade this year. That's weird.
Yeah, you met me literally on the tail end of my 8th grade year up until through, and then now you've known me through my high school years.
Yeah, you were different back then.
Definitely.
I don't know. I mean, from my perspective, you were more. You were less. You were kind of like me. You were like You didn't talk to too many people. You were shut in, and you weren't really as sure of yourself as you are now. That's what I remember of you. I mean, me, I was just more stupid. I was more stupid back then.
Oh man, we went through a lot of stuff together. You guys don't even know. Like
I've talked to him
because we started with the podcast in like
2016.
2016.
We really need to start making a standardized schedule for uploading these two, by the way.
We can't do that now. I would say when we get everything together. Okay, I'm gonna say when we get everything together in the house. That's
can
when
we
things
try to
definitely
get one every month?
Like things are gonna definitely start moving a lot.
Can we try to
faster.
get one every month at least?
Yeah.
One every month.
Yeah, at least once a month.
Yes. What? Okay, so this will be August. But yeah, we went through like all of our dumbass chick problems and shit. Like I've talked to him about this. I used to be obsessed with this stupid ass bitch. I don't even know why I liked her. She's a standard white snob. And I won't say her name on the podcast because
Yeah.
But there was that, and there was other issues, and me and him have even fought over the same chick, which I think is kind of funny. Like bros before hoes. Come on, man. Like.
Yeah.
That was foul.
We squashed it though. We squashed it and
yeah, but still, we shouldn't have fought over that.
That was
then I kind of had you back when you were crushing on that one girl, and then she started crushing on me.
Yeah, but I mean that was a situation where I was always crushing on her, and then I mean even if I still wasn't like we didn't fall out then. We
didn't fall because I talked to you about it. I was like, yo, dude.
I wasn't even really mad at you about it. I was kind of mad. I was more mad at myself because I didn't go for it really.
I mean,
if anything.
She did tell me she didn't really fuck with you like that anyway. But I mean, you could say you were jealous a little bit. I mean. Did I tell you that? I thought I told you that, yo. I thought I told you she wasn't really with you like that, man.
Oh man,
I could have sworn I did.
Yeah, she wasn't. I don't care. Because she was.
She's a cunt.
Yeah.
Nah, but I remember I did talk to you about it though. I was like, "Yo, how do you feel about this?" And he was like, "Man, dude, I'm not trying to be in the way of you guys." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I mean, it didn't work out with her and me anyway, because she doesn't know what the fuck she wants to do in her life. So,
yeah.
And then all my little stupid ass. I remember him. He had a lot of crazy internet girlfriends, and I won't go into that because his girl probably listens to this shit.
They were. they were crazy. They Jesus Christ.
Jessica.
It was fun. It was fun
until it was fun until one of them got hyper controlling of this guy, and he was and I had to talk some sense into this dude.
Yeah.
To get him to break off one of these broads who was like grabbing him by his balls and dragging him down the hill, trying to hyper control him. And I was like, dude, we got things to do. And he's like, no, but nothing. They don't care about your life.
Yeah,
they want you to do it.
I'm definitely more. I'm not.
Don't be a bitch.
Anymore.
Don't be a bitch.
if there's a situation like that now, I'm not. I'm
I
not
would
the kind
I
of
would
person.
backslap you now if you were in a situation like that now.
Yeah,
You would
no,
you would
fuck
you would
that.
catch a backslap in the face because I'll be like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You're a man.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that anymore. Definitely not. It was ridiculous.
It's all good because I was a bitch too. You know, it's all good. We grow.
Yeah,
Grow.
yeah, definitely.
You know.
So
shit like that.
I went to Warp Tour last week with my girl. Was it? It was either last week or it was 2 weeks. Oh,
All I remember is you saying. All I remember is like 2 weeks ago you said you were going on Warped Tour in a couple days, and then you haven't met and we haven't talked since until now. You disappeared on me.
Yeah, my fault.
You went
Yeah,
into a
my
fucking
bad.
coma. I was actually thinking about today. I'm like, dude, you know what? I need to fucking talk to this goddamn guy. Ask him what the hell his deal is.
It was a situation where I was just like, dude, I'm working on beats and everything, but I haven't talked to Devin in a minute. I haven't talked to Jacob actually today. I talked to Jacob today. I talked to you and Jacob today, so it was kind of
Jacob is another one of his really good friends.
Yeah, Jacob is he was actually there in my 9th grade year as well. I met two of my best friends basically in my
Shout
8th,
to
9th
Jacob.
grade. Shout out to Jacob.
Shout out to Jacob. I don't want to kill you no more. It's all good. Well,
geez.
for now anyway. You know.
I mean that's kind of a situation with everybody though, really. Like, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Kind of where like you want to kill everybody at one point.
Yeah, but like him, you guys had a falling out, and I had issues with him then because he handled it a little improperly. IMO, but that's in the past and it's all gone.
Yeah, it's all good.
You know, it's all good. No, I'm not even gonna bring that shit up. That's for bringing shit up like that's for bitches. So.
Yeah, definitely. But
Yeah.
so let's actually see what's going on in the music world right now. So,
well, you went to Warped Tour. How'd that go though?
Oh, it was dope. I never actually went to any kind of like festival like that, so it was definitely dope. One thing that kind of is saddening about it though is the fact that it was the last Warped Tour this year of the last Warped Tour ever, and it's sad because
at least you went to the last one, man.
Yeah, it was a situation.
Was anyone interesting that we give a shit about there?
I not really. It's anyone that you would really care about that much, but there are people there that I did respect, that I had some kind of like respect for in terms of the rock scene.
Any metal bands?
It was mostly metal bands. Like, it was mostly metal and punk rock bands.
Any well-known bands that I would know about?
I gotta actually look at the set list. From.
I would go see a metal band, man.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Would you go like what? Okay, so what band would you see specifically? Like
a lot of the metal bands, like that rappers that I know like metal and respect metal or influenced by metal would listen to. So say
like Black
Slayer. Yeah, Slayer, Metallica, 9 Inch Nails. And I also know you like 9 Inch Nails.
Oh yeah, they were there. They were there.
Oh, word.
Yeah, they were there.
Trent Reznor. Would they have a? I heard they had a tape echo effect set up for their live shows. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. It was dope.
I heard. I was looking on Reddit about people who were using reel-to-reel tapes, and they were like, "Well, 9 Inch Nails has a tape echo set up in their stage show." I'm like, "Oh, where?" And 9 Inch Nails. There's two things that made me notice 9 Inch Nails. Well, Trent Reznor was on that LP song of Flyantology.
Yep.
And Trent Reznor also had his digits in the first Quake game. You know about Quake?
Yeah.
Quake. He did the soundtrack for Quake. He did the sound effects for Quake. Like he did there's not many voice work being done in there, but he helped them do the sound effects and shit for Quake. So
that's pretty dope.
And ever since I started listening to like nonfiction necro and shit like that, and even Jedi Mind Tricks and Vinnie Paz, they cite metal. Like you can hear it in their lyrics and in their music, like they just have a metal influence, and I've just grown to respect those guys because a lot of they parallel us in a lot of ways because we're very anti-establishment, anti-conformist, and just anti-traditional and shit like that, and we're just dark, brooding, aggressive shit, and I respect that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if I'm not necessarily listening, to metal all the time, I respect the shit out of those guys.
I mean, yeah, the Rock to me, I heavily respect Rock.
Honestly,
the Rock
man,
scene.
I would consider doing a rap. And didn't I send you a message about that?
Asking if you were asking me if I would ever do rap metal.
Yeah, like a track
I don't like with a with a rap
with a
metal
band,
band or
a real
or,
band.
or like me doing my own rap metal track.
I would want to do it with you.
Mm.
A rap. If we do that, I want to do that because that was like
Pens with a rap with a metal group.
we should do that, y'all.
Mm.
That would be tough. That would be tough for real.
I would definitely work with if there was any metal band that I could work with. It would definitely be like Motion. You ever heard of Motionless in White?
Nah.
Mm.
I don't know shit about the scene. I just, know the little bit that I know.
Motionless in White is dope. There's a lot of dope like
real metal, not like electronic metal and shit like that. I'm talking about like straight, like real metal.
Like if you really think about it, though, if you really think about it, the rock scene has has gone underground. Like at this point, the rock scene is definitely underground.
Well, the only thing you'll see, like you'll hear that about that pussy ass soft rock shit. Fuck that shit. My brother likes soft rock. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're a clown.
But like the fan bases are so dedicated in terms of like what they believe in,
and I feel
there's barely ever any like kind of compromise with the sound. It's still a lot of the same sound, and it's dope. I mean, it's still innovative and it's different, it's unique, but it is still the same sound because it's rock, Yeah,
exactly. Find more ideas to expand on what you already have, utilizing the tools you've known so well and been using for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it keeps the core foundation of what makes your genre what it is. You know what I mean? And that's what I respect that because I feel like me and you are like that, and we embody that kind of mentality. You know what I mean? Like we may be underground, but the people that know us, they know us. They don't just know, oh, we had a video, blah blah blah. Oh, we have this. Like it's not materialism. It's straight about the art. That's what it is. The art. They know us because of the art, and we relate to them, and they relate to us.
Exactly.
So I mean, as long as it's like that, I mean, it doesn't really matter what genre it is. It could be fucking well, not country. Fuck country. Country gets the balls.
Like if we could work with like
kidding.
Somebody from I don't know, like what would be like an old school, like either old school rock, new school rock, whatever. Like any band that you would be okay with working with, like in terms of what artist in general, just in general, who would you like to work with? Like not even just hip hop.
Shit, I would work with a jazz artist.
Like who?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, I'm not like any aficionado or nothing like that, but I just feel like if we take what each of us knows about our respective genres and we combine them together, if we just get into a room and we just jam out and exchange ideas, we can make a blend of what we are best at. So I could get like a top tier jazz musicians, and there's a jazz scene still today, even though it's not as prominent.
It's another underground.
It's another underground thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the extent of what we do, but it still is there. So if we get like
I feel like rap is the only genre that is extremely mainstream, but extremely underground.
One thing that I've wanted to do is one thing that I've wanted to do was take a sample, right, and then have a band play around it. That would be cool. Like there's a beat I have with the Jimi Hendrix sample. Jimi Hendrix sample.
Would you work with like guys like 21 Pots and like Mute Math?
I think I mean, well, that could yield something interesting. Because we are different in some ways, but we are the same in some ways.
Yeah.
They have a wider appeal than us.
I mean,
but they still manage to at the same time, like, well, I mean, it's been a couple years since Stressed Out. And that's really the only song you hear on the radio. But still, I still feel like they have a wider appeal than we do.
That's mainly because of how dedicated their fan base is. They got their fan base is called the Skeleton Clique. and
Okay.
they're definitely dedicated, and they're ever growing. They're still to this day a very growing fan base, especially with this new album coming out on October
On
5th.
October 5th, and we were just talking about that. They have a
Yeah,
real cool ass concept that he was telling me. He was saying how basically they're making some kind of, it's a concept where the society and the religion, the government is basically
a
a religion,
that keeps people in,
keep people from discovering their happiness and freedom.
yeah,
And then
basically.
someone, what
But
you
it's
said,
so much. It's even on like a somewhat spiritual level because basically, there was this music video for the song Jumpsuit that came out for this new album, and basically one of the bishops, the religion bishops that were like in that religion who control that society,
right?
basically they use like black paint, that same thing that he used in the blurry face era that he like put on his hands and neck to describe his insecurities, because he's very Tyler, the lead singer, basically is insecure about what he creates with his hands and basically what he says out of his his throat. So the black paint kind of represents that.
Word.
And basically
From a visual aspect.
yeah, and basically what the bishops do, they smear black paint on people's like neck and hands in order to control them with their insecurities, and they get under a trance so much to the point where they wipe their memory, because they're basically taking away their memories of freedom and happiness that to keep them in control.
Right.
It's some dystopian type shit, dude.
Right. You know, and I mean, I feel like to an extent, a lot of the things, like if you,
That metaphor in itself is something that we even like talk about and talk against, and
some of our lyrics.
yeah, it's in a lot of our lyrics. People
I feel like
kinda,
once we start doing more songs, we're gonna really expand on that. Like I've had little lyrics about, like little rhymes popping in my head about dystopian futures of opium users, and just little things in my head. Like I've just been like, yo, this shit is just going down. Like, this is just. As I get older, I just feel like I just realize this shit is really real. Like the doubt in my head becomes smaller and smaller as I fully understand that it's not what it seems. And most people are just, they refuse to see the truth, what's in front of their eyes. It's very transparent if you look for it, but they're just conditioned.
Yeah.
So.
And especially with the new generation, the fact is that if you do something and it's spread across, well enough, the next generation will just normally transition into it.
Right.
That's kind of what happened with. That's how it works. That's how it works with technology. Like now, they're like my baby sister knows how to navigate my dad's phone to go on YouTube and watch videos. I mean, sure, it's a small. That's a small.
How old is she?
She's 2. She's 2 going on 3.
Wow.
Not sure that when I was 2 going on 3, I was reading. I was reading. I was just reading. I didn't. I mean, we didn't have like touchscreen phones back then and tablets.
Each generation had its but each generation had its own little thing. So
were the books?
Talking about that books in your generation?
Talking about that makes me feel old as hell. It's like when I say that, it's like back in my day we didn't have this.
Back in my day,
exactly.
We had the PlayStation 2.
What are these Xbox Ones and PS4s and
we had to wait for our computers to turn on the dial-up internet.
And we had flat screen TVs. What are those? We had TVs where we had high movers, and
you had to not touch the screen, otherwise you would get shocked.
Yeah.
Nah, but every generation I think has those kinds of things. So what were the books when you were growing up, or now the iPads and the tablets? But I feel like things are being replaced by technology, which has multiple purposes. A book has a singular purpose. To read.
Sure, yes, it's great that it does advance kids' minds faster. But the fact is that there could be so much.
There's a difference between a tablet, and there's a difference between a phone and a tablet and a book. A book serves one purpose: for you to read and gain knowledge from, or just read just for the fucking reading pleasure.
Exactly.
But I feel weird saying pleasure, but whatever.
Reading pleasure.
Yes, reading pleasure.
Oh, that paragraph was so good.
No, I'm sorry.
That paragraph was so good.
And a tablet and a phone can be multiple things, to the point where someone who doesn't understand how to use this thing, it comes with a point where with more power, you need to understand the power before you can fully realize the power you have and understand how to use it. So it's like a 2-year-old with a tablet. A tablet can do multiple things. Or a phone in your case. You could call people on a phone. You could just a lot of things with a phone that like regular standalone items can do. So
Right.
in a lot of cases, and there's a lot of factors that apply to this. You have society, peer pressure, and traditions that that are perpetuated, such as, and my sister's dealing with this, I think.
Yeah, it definitely becomes a situation where like I had to take the time to learn how to use a phone and use a computer, but like these kids nowadays, babies and kids alike, are just like it's
just wired into them almost.
They friggin' come out of the womb with a whole friggin' YouTube playlist about friggin' little kid cartoons.
Yeah, that shit is weird. My sister watches that, and it's just like, about the whole YouTube adpocalypse, right?
Yeah.
And how people were uploading weird ass shit that was supposedly kid friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, you gotta be careful with that. Even though they went through it, they supposedly patched it up.
And speaking of that, I think it's extremely messed up how you've now basically you now have to. It's like YouTube basically created their own FCC system.
Oh yeah, there are people getting flagged left and right just because they don't have a popular opinion or controversial opinion.
Yeah, so you got these guys
demonetized. Even though it goes for fair use.
These channels who basically come in and they say, you know what, I know I'm gonna make some money off this YouTube thing. I'm gonna make some videos and animations.
And they shut them down.
No. They're gonna make some videos and animations, and they make big bank while there are people who are making quality content for adults and teenagers alike that may be considered not family friendly, and they get flagged.
Exactly.
And I already don't really watch TV, and it's such to the point where if you want to find quality content on YouTube, you have to look for it now. You can't just find good quality content.
Well, you had to have been watching since back in the day.
You had to been watching it before but that's the problem though. A lot of the channels you used to watch are probably gone now, or they had to start a new channel
on Twitch or something like that.
Yeah, or they went to Twitch.
Or vid.me, which Twitch, it's mainly for streams. So I don't know how the hell that's going to work.
I remember my days of basically binge watching other people on Twitch and stuff like that. I went through my little phase of that.
There's a reason why Patreon exploded the way it did was because people, YouTube has its hand on everybody's shit, and companies are taking advantage of their policies and stuff like that to unfairly flag people.
The networks that people are, the networks like Maker Studios are basically not only they always kind of screwed over a lot of the people they had on their networks, but they on top of that now an only way to still get money from YouTube now is if YouTube
you have to use Patreon.
Either Patreon or YouTube or somebody at YouTube is backing you. Logan Paul and Jake
sponsors.
Paul, they're still getting
I don't know how. I think those guys should have been taken off YouTube. I don't know what they're still doing on there.
They're still monetizing.
If they were regular people, because they're making money. Because YouTube.
They're still monetizing off of most of their videos.
If it was just some regular dude who did the shit that they did, they would be gone.
Exactly.
Gone. Out of here. Disappeared. Videos deleted. Servers destroyed. With their content on it.
See now, it was a situation where it used to have been PewDiePie, but then he screwed that up himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
but my question is, how in the world did Logan Paul get away with what he did, even though what friggin' PewDiePie made? PewDiePie made an anti-Semitic joke, which. Anti-Semitic jokes are not really funny, just in general, especially if they're not. It depends
on how you structure the joke. If there's an exaggeration in there,
has to be. In order for them to actually be funny, they have to be an actually structured joke. You can't just say "death to all Jews" and think that's funny. I don't understand what he was thinking at the time.
That's not that funny at all.
Wasn't
it a social experiment or something like that?
Yeah, it was a social experiment basically that people were willing to do anything for, because he was on Fiverr, which is basically a website people who are broke do anything, do like make content on Fiverr for $5 if you ask them to do it. And basically there were these two guys who like didn't speak English. They didn't speak English, which kind of even backfired on PewDiePie more, because he basically, and they said,
take advantage of him.
If you give us $5, we'll basically write something, whatever you want, down on a piece of paper, and go into like a forest area, holding the sign, jumping up and down and dancing and wearing like. See, like,
okay, that image itself is kind of funny. I'm not saying.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty entertaining. But when you do something like that to all Jews, that's just.
I think the way he presented it was wrong. The way he presented it was wrong. But I'm not even upset at him. I'm not even mad at him. The guy kind of screwed himself over multiple times. Remember when he said the N-word on the live stream?
That was after.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that, and then
I mean, to be honest with you,
and there was nothing, and there's nothing you could really cover that up with. I mean, I don't care what he says. He's like, oh well, the community, the gaming community that I'm in sees that as a no. You are smart. You are smart enough not only like as a person, but you're smart enough in terms of business to know that doing something like that, like whether it's a part of the gaming community or not, like that's still really messed up.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna excuse him for it either, but this is my point. Have you ever been doing something and thinking of something else while you were doing it, and then you end up saying or muttering something related to the thing you were thinking about, even though it may have nothing to do with what you're actually doing at that time? So I'm not saying he's excused for that, but I've been there where I've been doing something and like, you know, people would be there and I would mutter something. It could be ridiculous and it'd have nothing to do with what I'm doing at that time. And it would make no sense.
It wasn't that it had nothing to do with the time. It was the fact is that
I know the guy was shooting him and he or something like that, and
he was trying to shoot a guy. He kept missing, and then he basically, instead of just saying "oh fuck," "oh shit," he said "oh you fucking N-word" or something like something similar to that.
I think I mean, my point is, and he screwed himself up, and there's no way he can come back from it. But I've been in places where I would like go to say something. And I meant something else, but something I was thinking about in the back of my head would fuck up what I was trying to say, and I would say that. But I'm not saying that excuses him, because he that's the second time. Yeah. And then he lost his deal with Disney, man.
It's like, dude, you literally just got straight off the friggin'. You got out of the frying pan and you were safe. Actually, like you weren't out of the frying pan into the friggin' out of into the fire. You were out of the frying pan and you were just slightly you were half cooked.
Yeah.
And then you
went
said,
back in and then got fully cooked.
Yeah, and now you're kind of screwed.
And you know what sucks though? I think when he did the whole anti-Semitic thing, a lot of news websites are picking it up and running with it. Like, oh, PewDiePie's anti-Semitic.
Friggin' Wall Street
Journal.
Yeah.
It should be. It should, instead of WSJ, it should be SJW. Fuck those guys.
But they're not even real SJWs. That's the problem.
But that post is highlighted that they have that kind of agenda.
Like at least SJWs like aren't trying to benefit from it just with press. That was them strictly just basically
I think some SJWs benefit from it.
What does like
tried to benefit from it anyway.
It's a situation where Wall Street Journal basically saw a ticket, because I mean,
something to cry about.
This modern, I don't really think this modern generation really looks that much into, you know,
they don't
Wall
look
Street
into
Journal
things
that much. No, I'm saying no one in the modern generation really looks at the Wall Street Journal. So they said, you know what, this is a popular modern person. Let's just do something that basically so people of modern, you know, of the modern acquired taste can look and say something about it, because you know all publicity is good publicity. So let's just go off the handle with this.
Yeah, I mean, I also do think it was also just someone looking to cry about something. Like this whole anti-gay Chick-fil-A shit.
Wait, what? What?
Chick-fil-A is supposedly anti-gay because they donated brownies to some marriage group that just so happened to be against or not really strongly for gayness. Which I'm definitely sure. I'm sure that's not what happened. Like, oh, they don't like gay people. Let's give them brownies. Like these idiots, I really feel like these morons, these mouth breathers that don't even give a shit about gay people anyway. They just want something to cry about. Because you won't see them supporting any other causes. You won't see them talking about, racist people or trying to stop racism. Well, some people do that, but I guarantee you these same people that are bitching about Chick-fil-A aren't going to give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Like, these morons go around thinking, oh, they gave brownies to these people. Like, I have a feeling that it was just some people that maybe they had an encounter with them and they felt grateful to them and they wanted to give them some brownies and they just so happened to be part of that group. Like, do you really feel like am I gonna give brownies to someone who hates
You're not gonna give a treat to someone just because of their personal
they
preference.
agree with me, or they may exactly not agree with me, but
it was like me and Devin agree on a lot of things. But the fact is, we agree on them just because we agree on them, and we kind of relate on that sense.
You think 85% of white people are stupid? Here's a cookie.
I'm not gonna send friggin' Devin a bouquet of flowers just because me and him like the same kind of music.
Like, you know how many bouquets of flowers you would have sent me by now?
Exactly. Oh man. No, I'm not. I wouldn't.
I would basically get like a big metal drum of flowers, wait for them to all die, and just throw them on someone's lawn.
But yeah, I'm not gonna like reward someone just because we both had some kind of acquired taste. It's a.
Oh, you think America's full of shit? Here's a Rolls Royce. You think America's full of shit? Here's a Rolls Royce. Like, no, it's had to have been a specific. Like, they just want something to cry about, and these news websites that are reporting on it, they just want money. They want ad revenue. This is how it is now. This is America now. You know what I mean?
And it's pretty messed up.
And I'm gonna continue to eat there.
Speaking of a hell in a handbasket, almost close to dystopian society.
I'm gonna continue to eat there, not because I'm anti-gay, but just because I want to piss off these democratic pussy ass wannabe crybaby assholes.
Plus Chick-fil-A is good.
I like Chick-fil-A. Get over it. And you know what? I don't care if they close on Sunday. I'm not really religious, but you know what? Those guys can do whatever they fucking want. They have good people at there. I've had nothing but good experiences over there.
Yeah, every time
the lady triple checks my food. Triple checks, and she's just a drive-through lady. Like, they really they care about the people they hire. Like, it's no games over there.
Yeah.
You know what, man? And I support that. And you know what? I don't really. And people can say whatever the hell they want. I know for a fact that they weren't they didn't think, oh, they're anti-gay, let's send them brownies. Like, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah,
people are just taking something and blowing it out of proportions. And for that, I say fuck them, because you know what? They don't deserve that shit.
Yeah, but
regardless of whether they're religious or not.
Yeah, but speaking of hell in a handbasket and on the way to dystopian societies, Run the Jewels 4. What
It got canceled?
Huh?
It got canceled?
No. I wonder what they're gonna bring to the table. They gotta make a Run the Jewels 4. That's one thing.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. It might not drop this year, man.
Not this. I don't think it's gonna drop this year. It could drop next year within the next 2. Can you imagine Run the Jewels 4 2020?
I don't know what another Run the Jewels album is gonna sound like, man. I feel like they're gonna do something different, like really different.
I have no idea. There's no way to tell because they've done what are you gonna like? What can you expect from people who have done everything? You know.
Honestly, I think maybe if they get a lesson electronically, I don't know.
We did learn a lesson of an artist who has done everything, and you think that an artist who's done everything knows how to be great all the time.
Nope, not how it works.
Eminem.
You lose steam. Yep, Marshall Mathers lost his steam.
You did everything. You did everything. You did everything, but. You did
everything, and he was great. Now he thinks he can do anything, and now he sucks.
Once you do everything, but don't think that you can just do anything.
I want another LP solo album.
Wait, what?
I want another LP solo album. It was 6 years since Cancer for Cure.
I don't think he's gonna do it.
Well, he doesn't, and he said this. He's crazy about his albums. He doesn't just do an album.
Yeah.
I've read articles about how this dude fucking makes albums. It's like him. He goes haywire, and the music comes out of him being haywire.
Yeah.
basically. So I mean, I would like to see another LP solo album because I have a lot of respect for that dude. I want to see what he would bring in 2019.
2019,
Pump
2020.
this shit like they do in the future. God damn it.
I think that I want, if he does a solo album, it's going to be during a time when our dystopian ideas have definitely come to fruition. Because
Yeah.
it'll be like and it kind of not an "I told you so" kind of album. Well, it might be. There might be like maybe one or two songs that'd be like "I told you so," I told you this would happen," kind of situation.
I think Gail Bill would do that kind of thing too. Because if you listen to Futurama, the dude's talking about fucking androids roaming the streets of New York
Dude,
and paying for
androids.
groceries with the DNA codes in your vocal cords.
Dude, have you ever heard of the game Detroit Become Human?
Nah.
It's basically a game about so you know how Detroit basically is like or it used to be like an industrial powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like just for like steel, metal, and industrial, moving product along for the time that it was there. Basically, it's a revamp of that, but instead of it being like back then when it was now in 2038, and they've hit another boom in the industrial power by making androids.
Mm.
And basically it's like at a midpoint where androids have already been not completely accepted in society, but it's like the between point between the beginning and the midpoint of androids being within society, because basically androids have taken people's jobs and leaving them homeless.
Exactly. Because robots, like, and you already see this a little bit, technology automates the tasks that humans used to do.
Yeah, so now the secretary who
So where are the jobs? There's no jobs. There's nothing. Like, this is the problem. Like, and
because why continuously pay a human for something that we could do in double time if we just got some machine to do it?
Right.
But
then also, it leaves when there's a lack of a human element, it leads.
That's also another reason why I think music is also another good choice, because yes, Android. Oh crap, my fault. Robots can replicate, music, the same kind of music that humans make, but the fact is that they're robots. There's no personality there.
It is impossible to completely replicate the complexity, the emotions, the spiritualness. That's one thing robots will never have. They'll never have a spirit. Never.
I don't know, man.
No, robots never have. You can program the shit out of a robot if you really wanted to. But you know what?
These in the game, dude, they had everything.
Dude, that's a game. I'm talking about reality, bro.
I know that, but I'm saying the fact that, I see video games as definitely a peak in, like, video games and music are definitely, in my opinion, a peak into the future and what it could possibly become, because there are so many things. Sure, they may seem impossible, such as like robots having emotion, but at the same time, like, what's stopping
You might be
them?
able to program things like sympathy and empathy into a robot, but you know that on the flip side of that, there will be some greedy, just dictating asshole who will program a robot to just kill shit and just be the most evilest, nihilistic, narcissistic piece of shit you could ever think of.
Yeah.
Just cold-blooded, evil, diabolical, utter monstrosity.
And I don't even know when it's going to, I really don't know when it's going to happen.
I don't even think about this stuff that much, because you know what, dude? Honestly, man, I know that this world is eventually going to go to hell. So, you know what?
Living in the now is a great thing, but the fact is that I'm too worried about the future to worry about.
I still look into the future, but
I do worry about now. I do focus and do things now, but whenever I'm not doing that, I take the time to think and look at what could possibly be the future for me, and I analyze it, and I wonder if it is I look at the chances. I look at the chances and the possibilities of it. I'm very analytical about what the future could possibly hold for me, and the chances that specific future possibility could happen.
Well, I mean, for me, honestly, right now, I'm just trying to build up a circle of people that I know I can trust, and people that I know I'm tight with. Because when that shit does happen, I'm not gonna go through that alone.
Right.
When shit does go down, I need people with me. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? It's every man for himself at that point. You know, so gotta have people with you that you know you can trust.
Exactly.
You know, and the world's gonna go to hell eventually. There's nothing you can really do about it. And you know, I'd say, like, you could try to. There's nothing you can do to stop the. Like, people are too stupid. People are too conditioned for a bunch of people marching and doing protests and shit like that and other shit like that. Like, it won't make a difference. They're still gonna do what they want to do. They're the people in power. You can't take that away from them. So I just worry about myself. I worry about trying to secure the best future for myself I can possibly have. You know.
That's all you can do, because otherwise, if you don't build a future for yourself, then you don't really have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be stuck, and that never goes well.
Yeah. You know, and that's what I worry about when I think about shit like that. I'm just like, just focus on doing what you have to do to prepare for these types of things, not it itself, because you don't even know. It's gonna be bad, but we don't really know for sure how bad it could be. It could be worse than we think. It could be maybe not as bad as we may have thought of. But I generally lean towards expecting the worst and preparing for the worst, rather than, oh well, it'll be all right. Well, no, because when you expect automatically good things, you're disappointed a lot of times.
Yeah, 9 times.
You gotta learn how to be.
10.
I say 9 times out of 10. At least in my case.
I'd say about 7 to 8 times out of 10. Then yeah.
Okay. 7, 8 times out of 10.
Because there are times where things, they may not work out completely, but they work out better than they possibly could have.
Yeah.
You know, like there were probably so many times where like a very extremely bad thing could have happened. Like, dude, we couldn't have even been recording this right now. I wouldn't even be on this computer at some point. You know, I probably wouldn't even have been releasing. Hell, I could not have been born.
Yeah, they could have. Your mother could have did the wire hanger treatment, and my mother could have gotten rid of me.
Like, things may not go completely the way that you would want them to, but they do they could happen better than they ever could have happened. You know.
Word, no doubt.
And that's really life right there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you gotta learn how to somehow be in the middle point. People get pissy when I'm like, oh, I kind of prepare for the worst rather than expect the best, and they're like, well, you know, you must. No wonder you're so cynical, but nah, like you're looking at it from a very black and white perspective.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Otherwise, life is not black and white. Otherwise, the gray is gonna hit you. You're gonna be confused. You're gonna be confused. Yeah. You're not gonna understand. But I mean, even then, the realization will come. The realization of what gray is will come.
You can't hide from it forever, man.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah. You know, so how the hell did we go from talking about metal bands, working with metal bands, to again, when we were just talking about this, we ramble like hell.
Which is one of the reasons why I like doing these podcasts. Like, me and Devin could like probably not talk for like a whole 2 weeks to a month, and then come back, like, talk or do what the podcast and just like completely catch up with each other, and then be like fucking best of friends still.
Hell yeah, like that's important, because that's important to have, because it was like, if I go back and I talk to this dude after like a month, and it's just like okay,
it's
I have nothing to say.
It's never like that. It's all back to, it's continuing where we left off.
Yeah, for sure. That's important. Chemistry. You can't do something like we want to do without chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, chemistry. It needs to be real.
And that is the kind of thing that we want. And like, if we have any new members of Crimson Underground, that's one thing that we want, because like, me and Devin could have Exploding Pens, you know, and Crimson Underground. But
it's been us solo. It's been us, the both of us, for 3 years, man. Like, but just us.
But I'm saying basically, like, let's say that like Devin goes on his own like tour, I go on my own tour, and then like we don't talk for like months on end, but like then we come back to do another tour together, and we're just completely back in to whatever happened before.
No doubt.
You know, and that's the kind of thing we would kind of need when it comes to, you know, having any new members.
Yeah,
There had to be a situation where we could, like, not talk for a while and then come back and be completely good.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, sure, that takes time to develop, because, I mean, even with me and Devin, that took time to develop. You know?
yeah, because, I mean, like, in the beginning, I really, like, when this guy wanted to talk to me and shit, I wasn't, and even to this day, I'm not a particularly friendly to new people. Like, if the circumstances are right, I can be cool, but most of the time, I'm not really, like, super ego to, oh, yeah, well, let's hang out and do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't operate like that. So when this dude was like, hey, man, let's Skype, and I'm like, I'm good, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, luckily he was too persistent. I wouldn't have done that. I would have just been like, whatever. And luckily, you know, he was persistent, and, you know, 3 years later, we're still here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
I mean,
you know.
it wasn't even a situation of, like, oh, I knew from the start kind of situation. Like, I didn't know that we were gonna be friends for 3 whole years.
You knew to keep banging on my fucking head until I fucking answered.
It was kind of a situation of, like, this person.
Unless it was different for you, I don't know. I mean, that's what I.
It was a situation of, this is a friend of another friend that I have a lot of similar kind of, like, taste with. Let me see if I can just, you know, talk to them, maybe gain another, you know, person in my circle, because, you know, I have a small circle. I mean,
yeah. I'm just, to be honest, I mean, I'm just surprised you were still persistent after the few times I was like, nah. Like, I was kind of not really with that whole shit. You know,
but then we saw I think one thing is that my roots into hip hop and what I was born into was another reason why we clicked, is because because we both knew our shit.
Well, you know, he was closer to it than me. His dad, he grew up. Well, I'm not gonna. You were born in. Where were you born?
I was born in Columbus.
Okay, you were born in Columbus, and your dad grew up during. You know, he was
70s, 80s.
He grew into hip hop. He grew into hip hop practically. He was born in 70. 1970. You know, I even talked to him about this. You know, like, he grew up with this culture. He saw it blossom.
Exactly.
That's, you know, and I don't have that, man. I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up, you know, with a typical white family. You know what I mean? Like, I try to talk to Mom about this stuff. She doesn't always understand what I mean. I mean, she may see that I'm passionate about it, but she doesn't always understand. That's
one thing that I do like. That another thing that makes our friendship so like that's one thing we bond over, the fact that, like, even though I'm not necessarily, like, I mean, I'm very multi-genre. I mean, even though I'm still a rapper, I'm still a hip hop to the.
He's more multi-genre than me.
Yeah, I'm still, even though that's the case, and he's suburban, even though he comes from a suburban background, the fact is that he has, like, a lot of people who get into rap and are from a suburban background, they don't really know that much. Devin has, like, learned his shit so much.
They just look at it from a point of music, and I think that's how it mostly is. Because you ever notice that some of the greatest music had cultures that blossomed in the inner city?
Yeah.
Like, rock was like that. You know, rhythm and blues was like that, which turned into soul. Hip hop was like that. It came from a place of struggle.
Yeah.
Hip hop came from a place of struggle. You know what I mean? And you know what, I can relate to that. Like, I mean, like, let's be real. You don't want to hear music that came from a place of indulging, if that's even a fucking word.
No, overindulgent. Let's go with overindulgent.
Overindulging. You know, overindulging, materialism, happy, because that's not life.
That's not. Yeah, I mean, it may be.
That's not real.
It may be a life. It's a life for the 1%ers. It's a life for the 1%ers. It's not a life.
It may be a reality for a few people, but it's, even for them, it's not always perfect. But their music may make it seem that way. Yeah. I don't want to hear that kind of music. I think that shit is corny. I listen to pop and it's all happy and shit. Just get to turn this fucking shit off. Like, I'd rather hear. You know what makes happy songs probably make me sad more than angry songs would make me sad or angry. If I'm being real with you.
I mean, happy songs don't make me sad necessarily. It's just I'm indifferent. I'm just.
It depends on what it is. Like, if you listen
happy songs just don't. They just don't.
Well, if it's a nostalgic song for you and you listen to like a.
Oh yeah.
Like, you ever listen to a song from your childhood that you remember and it brings back memories and you start getting all fucking bitchy and
of course
choked up and shit. But nah, what I mean is,
happy songs to me. They just don't affect me. Like
I would rather listen to "Empty the Clip" by Necro and go fucking get pumped to that, rather than listening to some random pop junk on the radio.
See, one thing I do like something I just thought about from 21 Pilots is the fact that basically they even said this. They even said this on one of their songs. They said, "Listen, I know this one's a contradiction because of how happy it sounds, but the lyrics are so down." Because the song, it's called "Not Today." The song is called "Not Today." The song sounds so upbeat and happy, but like the lyrics are just so depressing. And
what song was that?
It's called "Not Today." It was on their album "Blurry Face" from 2015.
Who did this? Who did that song?
It was 21 Pilots.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like,
and basically, like the song is so upbeat and so fucking happy, but the lyrics are so depressing. Like,
what was that song?
He said, "I don't know why, I just feel I'm better off staying in the same room I was born in." Like, basically,
that's depressing as shit.
That's yeah, but listen to the tone he sings in it.
Yeah. But yo, I mean, what was that song about the guy, the serial killer, the pop song that blew up?
Actually don't know.
You had that weird vocal effect on there?
Oh yeah, Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I didn't realize what the song's about until I was watching a Watch Mojo video about it.
Yeah, it's about school shooting.
That's fucking hilarious. And people are so upset. People are so quick to go crazy over a school shooting.
See, by that point, they missed the message. If you
they just cared about the beat and it sounded catchy.
Yeah, see, that's the situation where it's like, I don't know what it is, but like people like that, people who can make happier songs but still have a extremely like serious and
I think it's funny,
depressing message. One, it's funny, but two, it's
like Gravediggers, 1-800-SUICIDE.
It's even more hard hitting than if you honestly made a sad song with a sad beat and depressing lyrics.
Oh yeah, exactly, because it's just so. It cancel. There's two opposing energies from the song.
The juxtaposition makes it stand out more than
if you listen to Gravediggers 1-800-SUICIDE, that beat is just like, you know, very happy. Well, not overly happy, but it's not really dark.
Right.
And the dude talks about like hanging yourself. He talks about taking LSD and getting drunk and crashing your car, getting eaten by an alligator. like it's funny to me. Like
it's not like Cage's Suicidal Failure.
Yeah, that's another one. Like Cage has a very comedic point of like he talks about almost killing himself.
I feel like that's different. If you if you have comedy with a
it's
mixture,
not necessarily happy though. That one is just.
It's just dark. It made if you add comedy
dark
to it,
it's slapstick almost.
Yeah, it's even more dark than if you had it's just dark by that point.
It's even if anyways it's like it's slapstick in how psychotic.
It's what the Joker would have had. It's what the Joker from DC would have had in his playlist if he had a Spotify playlist.
Yeah, like I feel like because basically, and for those who doesn't know that song, it's you know. Check it out, Suicidal Failure by Cage off of Movies for the Blind. And basically what he does is, you know, he talks about, you know, almost killing himself and then trying to kill himself and that doesn't work. Like he talks about shooting himself in the arm, he starts bleeding, and then he sews his arm up to keep from bleeding, and then he gets hit by what did he say? Got hit by a fucking train or some shit. He tried to swim under the Brooklyn Bridge.
No, he didn't try to swim under the. He tried to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge and basically.
I thought he was trying to catch like bends under the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, basically.
And he didn't swim deep enough. And shit, and I guess he, fucking like it's a funny song. Like a lot of I'm sure some people would also will draw a comparison between it and Eminem, but I actually think the song is funny. Like if I listen to it when I'm really fucking. Not in a good place. It's funny. Like some people may look at that kind of weird. Like, what, you listen to a song about suicide and yeah, exactly. But
see if you can't really listen. I feel like if you can't really listen to a song about like suicide, you can't really stomach it necessarily.
Yeah.
Like if you can't relate to it, it mostly comes from like not. I mean, then again, there might be some people who can relate to it, but the fact is they relate to it so well that they can't really listen to it because they can't really stomach it.
Yeah, me, I don't really care. I have thick skin. Really, really, really thick skin.
Yeah, it's kind of a situation of like they talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, I've been there, and I completely relate to it. But if they do it in a point where I really like the song,
He was gonna stab himself with a rusty Rambo knife between the ribs.
yeah, it's
In
like
front of all his
like
friends.
the fact is that if I relate to it, then yeah, that's dope. But if the song is good and I relate to it, that's definitely a plus.
Right. You know, I don't feel like there's not a lot of rappers like Cage that are really talking about like he was like a part of the Eastern Conference movement, which is a very underground, prominent movement in the early 2000s, and he was really the only rapper out at that time really talking about like he had like for anyone who knows his life story, who doesn't know his life story, he had it really bad. Like his dad was abusive. He made him watch him take drugs. His wife. Not his wife. His mother made him convince the judge that he was crazy, and he had to stay in a psych ward.
Friggin' mental institution.
You know, and he was the only really like he would talk about his sick and twisted thoughts. You know, on his first albums. You know, he was really the only ones that were really talking about like, oh, I'm killing myself, blah 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 blah. I mean, Eminem did it a couple times, but he was even more.
I feel like Eminem did it in an even more comedic light than Cage
Yeah, he did it even a more lighthearted way. Cage was like. He was really messed up.
Like Eminem was like Looney Tunes with knives and chainsaws.
Yeah, like and then you know, Cage. If you listen to Hell's Winter, it starts to get less about the comedic and it starts to get more serious.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's basically. Like I still feel like.
See, like
even now,
like with a lot of rappers, it's like Drake, for example. Like we've all been through heartbreak. We've all been through a girl, you know. Maybe
he makes whole music. He makes whole music.
No, it's a situation where it's like, yes, okay, I understand you went through something that okay, I relate to it to a degree. But the fact is, dude, I don't actually like the sound that you're producing.
He makes
But then on top of that, if you're making the same content over and over and it doesn't sound different at all whatsoever a lot of the time, then it becomes a situation of
the only men that buy into Drake shit are insecure, pussy whipped, dudes. In other words, they're bitches. So
yeah,
he makes home music.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear about, oh, my ex didn't hit me back right away, even though my side girl got a 5 minutes with the screen crack.
Most of his fans are either, like, very, like, are the women...
My mother likes him.
Are the women very sensitive guys? But when it comes to his, like, music where he's, like, very braggadocio, that's the only time he ever appeals to,
yeah, but the two sides contradict each other, so you get, like, really, it's just, like, how can you be on the hook verse talking like the whole 0 to 100? He's on some kind of thug shit. Like,
yeah,
my squad is this. Yo, we gonna
I understand like having conflicting like attitudes.
But that's not him. Like that's not him.
Hold on. I understand having conflicting attitudes in terms of like maybe one song you'll say this about yourself, like you're the greatest of all time, but then the next song you say you want to kill yourself. But like if you're in one song. You talk about how amazing you are, and then like talk about how sad you feel in the hook. It doesn't. I don't like it. It doesn't work, and it kind of makes you feel like.
It kind of makes you think you're not even sure about who the hell you are.
It's not even just no. I mean, in terms from a listener standpoint, you're just like, I mean, sure, the hook sounds nice, but I'm actually paying attention to the lyrics, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like did somebody mess up on the sequencing for this song?
Did someone take the wrong hook from the other song and put it into this one?
It's like
the engineer pulled the prank, man.
If I find a song where the lyrics are so like friggin' depressing, but the hook is confident, then yeah, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, the
I'm
engineer.
sitting in my room and I'm so depressed.
I'm the best. I'm amazing.
I'm amazing. I'm depressed. Yo. I am suicidal. No,
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I'm amazing.
I'm depressed and amazing. I'm amazingly depressed. I'm depressingly amazing.
Jesus Christ.
Oh! No.
Bars.
But,
No.
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 Okay.
No. 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 Fuck that. Nah, but it's just like, I don't want to hear the type of shit he makes. He just, and when he gets on his whole thug crap, it's just like, really, dude, just stop.
See,
Like, it just makes me roll my eyes.
Yeah, it's like,
just stop playing yourself. And Pusha T fucking
demolish.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you shut him up. That's the thing though. That's the problem. He shut him up for a little bit, but then he came back and he did another freestyle and dissed Kanye. So it's like you didn't learn your lesson.
No, yeah, but he waited like 3 weeks to do it.
Yeah, after his album dropped.
A fucking cornball. Usually that's promo for his faggot ass album that no one wants to hear. Except little bitches.
My dad likes the album.
What?
My dad liked the album, and and me and him were in the car yesterday. We listened to it together, and like, see, it's like something I realized heavily about Drake is that when it comes to his songs, like where he isn't talking about his whole like heartbreak, kind of situations, it's like I realized his lyrics consist of 75 to 85% materialism / like partying or how like what him and his friends do to you, but like I said 75 to 85, so let's go 25% to 15% of actual lyricism, where he does like actual good wordplay
and
like actual good wordplay. Like, hold up, let me like actually pull up.
He can rap.
He can rap.
Like, he can rap.
But he just
like,
it's like,
yo, listen to mixtape Drake. He can rap because that's when he was influenced by.
It's a situation where you can definitely tell that Drake, like, does have actual lyrics, probably bars, but the dude chooses to appeal to a certain group of people.
Because when Drake was first coming out, you can hear how influenced by Toronto hip hop he was. So you guys got guys like Socrates, you got, and I don't know, I'm not gonna act like I know everything, but you guys got guys like Socrates. He's one of the major, even still, Canadian hip hop artists. There's also, Swollen Members. Like, he was rapping, like actually rapping,
right?
And he was good. He sounded good. And then, like, slowly but surely, after he joined the whole Young Money bullshit, he just changed his shit. I mean, I guess he was just trying to. I guess he saw the line that Lil Wayne threw to him and just boom. But
okay. So here's some lines that he said from the intro track on Scorpion from the first disc, Survival. He said, all of this disorder, no addressing. The crown is broken in pieces, but there's more in my possession. There's a whole lot of my possession. Who do you really love? Well, that's sure to be in question. My Mount Rushmore is me with 4 different expressions. My Mount Rushmore is me with 4 different expressions. That's clever to me. Could you imagine Mount Rushmore? Just picturing that in your head is just funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, if you would have just said that to me, I wouldn't have guessed that Drake wrote that. I would have thought someone else did.
Exactly.
Like, unless Quentin Miller is really going ham on those lyrics.
Yeah.
Yo, hats off to you, Quentin.
Yeah.
You know how to rap. Now, how about you get in the studio and record your own fucking album? Nah, I think he had Quentin Miller write all his bullshit songs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hold up.
Remember when that whole Jumpman shit was so hard, man? That song was garbage. I remember when I made the basketball warm-up tape that was on there, and they were blasting it in their locker rooms, and I was just like, They would have, like, I wanted to put on, like, some One of the drills would have worked real good.
Yeah.
But, you had to be clean, Fucking white people. Anyway. Yeah, like, the dude can rap. Like, he's far from the worst rapper of all time.
Yeah.
It's just, he needs to just I feel like he just saw the line
Like
Lil Wayne threw
he
at
said
him.
he said I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark N word.
Mm.
Like that's clever.
Yeah.
That's clever. Why can't you do more of that?
Well, you know, I mean, he has his. I feel like at this point he needs something to fall back on because he's not gonna be the Drake that we think of him as forever.
Yeah.
I'm sick of all these stupid ass One Dance and Love for Granted shit. I'm tired of hearing that. You know who I think of when I think of those songs?
What?
I think of that stupid snobby whore I went to school with that wouldn't even talk to me because she liked that shit.
Oh jeez.
Nah, no, I don't want to hear that. Soon as you get a text, reply me. No. Nope. See, I never jumped down anyone's throat for having a life.
Yeah.
That shit is corny to me. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, dude, I was happy when Pusha dropped that fucking song destroying him.
Yeah, man. It was a moment of clarity where we were just like, oh, geez, this is
About time, goddammit.
Yeah, but it was so. There were so many people who were just so uncomfortable by that. They were just like, yo, he just killed everything.
Yeah.
It was like Pusha T didn't eat. Like, you know how a lot of rappers they'll make a song and they'll be in a beef and they'll push the beef along casual and then drop a bomb.
Yeah.
Pusha T didn't wait. He released a diss. Then Drake came back. I feel like Pusha T baited him. I feel like Pusha T definitely baited him.
He baited him to try to come back. And then he tried to come back.
He was like, I'm just gonna say something. I'm gonna say something about Drake. Drake responded. And he was like,
word?
Like of all the people,
okay, let's go, buddy.
Of all the people, you responded to me. Within 24 hours of me releasing what I did, you responded to me. All right, I got everything on you. Let's go.
Exactly. Boom.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's that shit. We need that, man.
Huh?
We need that in this. We need this in hip hop more.
That's hip hop right there.
That's real hip hop right there. That's the even minus the whole bullshit with the fucking like even in general just like, amongst real MCs we need this type of competition more.
I feel like Pusha T is definitely
even though this was a little bit more personal, and I'm kind of glad that he was exposed like that because
that was like the most exposed that I've ever seen Drake like in terms of any situation like Pusha T didn't even really bring up the whole Quentin Miller thing that much.
Because everyone knew about that. That would have been like just poking a dead horse.
It was literally Eminem versus it was literally B Rabbit versus Papa Doc. Oh, I know something about you situation.
Yeah. He probably went to a private school too.
I don't know. He might have.
All I know is he's on Degrassi and wanted to act like traffic problems were so bad.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Like, I don't know. I personally don't see myself really coming to respect the dude that much, but maybe he can redeem himself. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna really put it too far past him, but something just tells me I just don't think it's gonna really turn out that way.
Yeah.
The dude is he's in too deep at this point.
Yeah, but I think that's how long we've been recording for. Well, let me see. It's been an hour and 28 minutes, an hour and almost 30 minutes. I think this is a good time to wrap this up. So guys, it was
lyrical,
dope.
Miracle, spiritual, individual, cynical, criminal with the subliminals. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but it was dope talking to you guys again. Also, so I'll be releasing just to announce, I'll be releasing a mixtape that'll basically be that'll comprise. Oh, fuck off! Basically, a bunch of songs that have already been made. I'm gonna remix some songs. I might. Should I tell them what's confirmed so far?
Well, no. Let's keep it a secret.
All right.
Let's keep it a secret. Right. So, but at the bottom, what we're gonna do is, as we do a remix, we're gonna release them individually. Then, once we're done recording all of it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it together for a mixtape, and we might have some extra goodies on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the DJ thing. I'm gonna be cutting it up, and hopefully that goes well, and I won't be killing myself.
We've already released the first track, "Whoa,"
the Whoa remix
from Earl Sweat. Made
I
by
told this dude to advance his boom bap flow. I think he could be better with the boom bap flow.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna step it up on the next one that I'm thinking about releasing.
Mm-hmm. What's that one gonna be? I don't even think you told me this one.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of things that currently I'm working on. So the next one that I'm going to most likely be doing is fucking what was it? Damn. Fucking Raid by MF Doom. Raid by MF Doom.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out for that one.
It's gonna be real. CUE's coming.
I don't know.
Cucumbers.
It's either gonna be that one or it's gonna be something different to kind of switch it up a little bit, because I've been doing boom bap for a while, and I think it's finally time you guys can see something different from me. So, who knows? I'm not gonna tell you exactly what will be coming out, but just stay tuned. Just keep an eye out,
Word. Keep an ear out.
Keep an ear out. Keep an eye out. Hell,
keep an ear out, and for women,
keep a nostril open.
For the bitches, keep an ear out. Keep an eye out. Keep your mouth shut, and for the women, keep your jaws off. If there's any women that even listen to us, which I doubt there is. If there are, there's something wrong with you, and I want to know you.
All right, so I'm Phantom.
I'm the piece of shit.
Yeah. We're both pieces of shit.
I'm a bigger piece of shit. Fuck you.
No.
No, I'm a bigger piece of shit. Shut up. I'm a bigger piece of shit.
Who is the biggest piece of shit? All right.
All baby boomers must be lit on fire.
This sounds like this would be a good song concept. Who knows?
I'm a bigger piece of shit than you. Yeah.
The fuck. All right.
No, we'll do a funk song about being pieces of shit. Being pieces of shit. I'm a piece of shit. Woo! Nah, I can't. I'm not even gonna try. King Kunta part
That was more like James Brown, kind of.
Yeah! And ain't nothing you can do to pass me!
Oh my god, you need to stop. Alright, so peace out, y'all.
Peace!